205 is actually one of my favorite weight classes, or was, but I've started to view it a little bit differently now after doing this list. Oh my goodness. We'll get into it. Anyways, top 5 light heavyweights of all time in the UFC. You know how it goes. Let's jump right into it. Number 5, Rashad Evans. What is this man's record, first of all? I've seen 22 8-1. I've seen 19 8-1. What is his record? I just put 20. So, yeah. Also, according to UFC.com, Pito is 0-0 record. So, cool. Anyways, good fighter, good wrestling, good movement. I was very impressed because I knew he was a wrestler. I didn't know he had that solid stand up. Cardio to go with it all. Obviously, conditioning was great. Former champion. Second in knockdowns landed. Landed. They. Second in knockdowns, who cares? Fourth in KOs or TKO wins, fifth in wins in overall fights in control time, and 10th in title fight wins. I don't. Oh, there it is. Found the wins. Now, Rashad is an interesting one. We'll get into it. First of all, he will end his career on a 5-fight losing streak against Ryan Bader. That's rough. Glover, good loss. You know what I think about good loss. Daniel Kelly, bad. Sam Alvey, I love you. You're funny. Your Instagram's great. You've reposted some of my stuff. You've talked to me on Instagram a couple times, but I say it's bad loss. Anthony Smith. I'm sorry about your coach, Mr. Anthony Smith. I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry. You suck. That was a very bad loss for Rashad. Anyways, it stains his legacy. You know, it's little gunk on the windshield. You know, there are a lot of other good names to go. I mean, Tito has 5 title defenses. I was gonna put Tito up here originally, but then some of my consultants pointed out that Rashad has a phenomenal body of wins, and we'll see why. Rampage also pretty solid. Vitor, Vanderlei, if you want to go for pride. Dan Henderson also pride because it's like they kind of overlap. Whatever. Forrest Griffin, Jan Blachowicz got title defense. Glover, maybe even Yuri. I saw he's ranked super high on Tapology's list. In my opinion, I'm a Yuri guy. I love Yuri. Don't get me wrong, but he's ranked super high. Here's what's interesting about Rashad. Having no defenses would seem like, oh, you can't be top 5, especially when Tito has 5. That's a lot. That's a lot. But he beat Tito in the head-to-head matchup, and it was a draw the first time that he beat him. And his body wins are really undeniable, man. All-time wins goes as follows: Stephen Bonner, Bisping is 205 for the title. He's an 85er for me, really, but you can count that one. Chuck Liddell, Forrest Griffin, Rampage Jackson, Tito Ortiz, Dan Henderson, and Chael Sonnen. Chael is a good all-time win. Shut up. He has a good resume. Even if he lost Anderson Silva, he still has a pretty solid resume. He's a very solid win. He's a good all-time win. He can go in some all-time win list. Calm down. I think the best comparison for Rashad is he's like a light heavyweight Robert Whittaker. It's a very good comp in my opinion. Champion, lost the belt, but very good body of wins. Also, listening about the was kind of crazy. Anyways, number 4, Alex Pereira. Let me break this down here. I know it's either gonna be everyone's gonna say yeah that makes sense, or it's gonna be very controversial. So we'll see. Let's break it down either way. Alex, obviously we know. I try not to yap about it. Phenomenal striking, great IQ. I feel like his IQ is also super underrated somehow. Even though everyone knows it's good, it's somehow underrated still. Current champion right now as we speak with 3 title defenses, all of which were gathered in 1 year. Also 2 division champions if that counts, and already 2 years as well. Third in title fights, holds the 9th longest win streak and the highest significant strike accuracy. Not a lot because he's been here a lot. He's come to 2 losses, except one of them was at 185, and then line in MMA was it 1-1 with Izzy. So technically beat a man he's ever faced. So technically you can check it off. He's just 12-1, and then if you pick it pre-UFC, it doesn't count. So technically he's 12-0. Technically, no, I'm kidding. Anyways. You can call it recency bias to put him here, especially a guy like established guy like Rashad, but he's 3 more title defenses than Rashad, which is not unfortunate, but like, yeah, you know the drill. The real argument Alex gets here is like quality over quantity. He has some of the highest quality wins we've seen after a short career, but also because his quantity isn't really there, it kind of what's the word? Exaggerates that. There we go. Alex's all-time wins are former champion of the defense, Jan Blachowicz, former champion Yuri Prochazka twice, both by knockout. Second guy. Second guy, well, first available or top second guy to knock him out, or second guy, third or second guy. I'm a Yuri fan. I should know this, but anyways, and then Jamal Hill. I hate to say it, Jamal's an all-time win, man. I don't like him obviously, but argue with a wall about it, man. I know he was all baby the breaks like Glover Teixeira, who's an all-time, and Jamal's an undefeated champion. Jamal's good, bro. That's an all-time win. I don't care. Now, is it like a top 5 like a legacy defining win? No, but it's a solid add to the body of wins. Because my rationale is you're not as good as who you fight, you're as good as who you win. I know it's kind of stupid, but it kind of means that you're both good and you're actually like better. Anyway, clear. I'm a big Chuck Liddell guy, so I'll try to be as honest as possible and not like coat my way out of every con for him, but I might do that anyways. I don't know why I started with Crazy Chin because we all know what happened, but Crazy Chin in his day, good striking, the power, I think I'm the only man that thinks of Chin and Chuck Liddell in the same sentence in a good context. Cardio also was there. Former champion, 4 title defenses. Is he 2-time or one? No, he's 1 time, right? Yeah. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to this, you youngins. The people who say Alex Pereira should be number 3. Pay attention. Most TKO KO wins, most knockdowns, third in title fight wins, fourth longest win streak, fifth in wins, and eighth in fights. Now Chuck has 9 losses, but that's not really fair. Some of them aren't really bad losses. My rationale. If you lose to someone good, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, you suck," because you lost to an undefeated champion or you lost someone really good. You know what I mean? Other than Jeremy Horn, but I see Jeremy Horn in a couple of resumes making these videos. Maybe Jimmy Horn isn't as bad. Maybe Jimmy Horn's like a mid loss. That bad one. For me, it's like you have your great losses, like Poirier losing to Khabib. I know it sounds weird, but like a loss like that, where it's like you fought Khabib in a really good time, man. You were good, Or like John Jones, when John Jones was roided out of his mind, beating everybody up. You know what I mean? Or like TRT Vitor. Anyways, why am I yapping about this? Great, good, and then bad losses. That's kind of how I have it. Like good, great, mid, bad losses. Kind of right in there. Anyways, the man's career, Chuck Liddell, get back on track, aged like a dead body. He just ate everything on the chin, caused his own destruction, tarnished his own legacy. We don't view him as this unstoppable monster that, like, my coach, my striking coach, I call him, we do grappling more hard before, but he says about Chuck is a monster. Like, Chuck was the man. Chuck was the guy. But my generation's like, no, Chuck's kind of a bum. Chuck's kind of Uncle Rico, he was the guy with the glass chin, got touched, fall straight to the canvas. It just sucked. It was just terrible. And it made it worse is that he's convinced that in his prime he'd be knocking out John Jones, knocking out Alex Pereira. The game, he doesn't know the game evolves. Like, you get absolutely destroyed. I love you, Chuck, but you don't even know what to do with yourself with that 2-division glory champion. I think what gives him the nod over Alex, though, in this context, is he has both in proper context, I use the word context twice in a sentence, crazy. He has very good quality, but he also has the quantity that wins, the body of work. And I was like, it's not fair to Alex, but still, it's brilliant. On paper, you have to be unbiased as possible. I'm gonna read them off here. So, all-time wins include Vitor Belfort, Alistair Overeem, Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture, Vanderlei Silva twice, or Tito twice, Vanderlei twice, and then Kevin Randleman. He's more of a heavyweight legend, but still pretty solid win. And he fought at 205, very interchangeable. Now, go to number 2, please. John Jones. I'm going to get out of the way. I don't like him when he failed the test, so he gets put in number 2. You cannot be the GOAT and break the rules and fail a steroid test. You cannot. I know everybody's on steroids. That's just my rule. You still cannot do it. You have to be unbiased journalist here. You broke the freaking rules. You cannot get your cake. You, little Timmy, you acted up. You can't go to recess. You don't do that. Or Timmy acted up, but Billy started the fight. No, Timmy, you can't go to recess. You knocked him out with a right hook. Good knockout, but you can't go to recess. That's how you got to treat John Jones in this context. No matter how much times he whines and cries, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT. George St. Pierre has never, ever, I've looked this up, ever said he's the greatest of all time. Because he's a humble man. John Jones has to reaffirm and reassure him and tell everybody he's the GOAT and put it out into the world, put it out of his mouth, which to me shows he's a very weak and insecure man. Why am I? Okay, chill out. I know what's going to happen. Anyways, I'll glaze John now. Be nice, even though I just flamed you. John, pretty good style, Wrestling, high IQ, blends his styles together. Hard to get reads on him. His kicks are super underrated, partially because he's lengthy, but puts on a good pace, 2-time champion, 11 title defenses, which is crazy. 12 total because that's stupid Stipe fight. Stupid, like boxing fight, bro. For the records he's got a lot of them, man. Most wins, longest win streak, most fight time, most significant strikes, total strikes landed, and he's 4th on takedowns landed. The real con of it all, though, knocks him out of the spot. 3 failed PED tests, 2 by the UFC, by the commission. Look into that second Gustafsson fight. I haven't already. Make it a no contest, Dana. You are a fraud. You are a two-faced liar. I don't like you, so make it a no contest, please. Or you might change my pin on here. Now, his one loss was a DQ, but in actuality, he has at least 2 losses. If you want to call me a hater, he is, including the DQ, he has at least 2 losses. I score it 3-2 Gus won by ring generalship. He looked so comfortable, and also hospital bed photos that John was in. John was rough. John was beat up. And Reyes is undeniably 3-2 Reyes. I don't want to hear it. It's undeniable. You have to give it to Reyes. There's literally no points. It's like one of the worst robberies ever. It's like Bisping Hamill level. I know it's considered the greatest statistically, right by MMADecisions.com. It's like 90 people scored to Hamill, 10 people scored to Bisping, whatever. But yeah. Santos fight, call me crazy. I know first watch, always not so good. I had it 3-2 John, but I can see it being 3-2 Santos because that 5th was super weird. It's a little less controversial one from the MMADecisions.com. But Yeah, so John's basically had 3 razor-thin fights, arguably losses, so he isn't this, like, undefeated, unstoppable machine that everybody paints him out to be. That's what annoys me. Everyone's like, "He's undefeated." He's not, though. He's not, though. Where you at, though? Where you at, though? I'm coming. I'm coming! Where you at, though? But you know what I mean? Like, he's not this unstoppable monster, despite what the papers say, what it says on paper. He's just a good wrestler with high IQ, you know? I can't believe I'm deducting John Jones right now. Now let's go to the blemishes of the career man. Eye broken, hands on your face, merchant. Let us for defense. His boxing is trash. It always will be. No head movement. No, no head movement. No balls. Nothing. He's got nothing in terms of the defense. His defense is so bad. It's actually absurd how he won so many fights. I mean, Stipe, at 42 years old, who was in great shape, don't get me wrong, was immobile. Immobile was touching up John. He was blitzing John at 42 years old. He was immobile. How bad are you, John Jones? How much do you suck that a 42-year-old man is touching you up in the feet? I'm going to take a break of water, bro. I can't. Now keep going. Suck it up. Come on, lock in. Now, the real thing of it all, the age gaps between the fighters. We'll list those in the all-time wins section, but like, come on, guys, this is your GOAT. Like, what I've said here is a lot of this is a lot of stuff. This is your GOAT. Anyways, always had considerable size advantage fighting bloated middleweights. I mean, look at the fights when they were taken away. Gus won, close. Reyes lost. Santos, close. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything, but you know what I'm saying. He's kind of a reach merchant. Hot take. John Jones, low-key reach merchant. Hot take. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, all-time wins. Shogun Rua, 6-year age gap. Rampage, 9-year age gap. Lyoto, 9-year age gap. Rashad, 9-year age gap. Vitor, 10-year age gap. Chael, 11-year age gap. Gustafsson, 1, no age gap. Conveniently close fight. Glover, 9-year age gap. DC, 2, first one was a no contest. Don't count it. 8-year age gap. Now for the non-title fights. Stephen Bonner, 10-year age gap. And lastly, Ryan Bader, only a 4-year age gap. This is your GOAT, guys. Someone did. I know you can't really average for my stats class. You can't really average age, but the average age gap of all of John Jones' fights added up is 67 years. It's a whole human being in your age gap of fight. That's a whole. That's a whole senior citizen, bro. That's crazy. I don't care who's the youngest champion. Some of them, when you're 26 years old, you can't be fighting guys with a 9-year age gap. When you're 27, 28, you can't be doing that. When you're 23, you get a pass. When you're 28 years old, how are you finding people with an age gap? That's like 9 years. That's crazy. He's an old man reach merchant, bro. It's like actually crazy how baffling it is to me. Dana has like jingled the keys and made all these toddlers and idiots think he's like the GOAT. I'm sorry, but like how? Anyways, the real light heavyweight GOAT, not a drug cheat, doesn't beat women, has a good family life, and he's Catholic. Anyways, DC, with a lot of disrespect, doesn't deserve it. Olympic champion, phenomenal wrestling, underrated stand-up. I know it's crazy because he knocked out Stipe, but still, super underrated stand-up. The boxing was good, the kicks were underrated, cardio was good when he was a big fat guy. Sorry, DC. And he wanted long fights, man. He wanted to break you down. He wanted to just destroy you mentally and physically. DC is a former champ, 3 title defenses at light heavyweight, 4 total, 1 heavyweight. 4th title fight wins all time, light heavyweight. 5th in average fight time. 8th in bottom position percentage, meaning he's went the 8th least 8th amount of time, something like that. You know, it's actually like a good statistic. I know it sounds like he spent all the time bottom. He spent the least amount of time in bottom position in the 8th. 9th in time as well, and then submission wins. Now for the cons, DC has lost 3 times, but he did beat Stipe that one time, so you could argue he's beat every man he's faced, other than John. And the John fight got overturned for roids in the famous Freudian slip, where he basically admitted he was on the steroids for the first fight, so you could arguably overturn both of them. And DC is essentially undefeated, essentially. DC's a fat flyweight, man. He's about 5'8", 240, 250. In heavyweight, like 230 at light heavyweight, or 220. Fat flyweight. I don't make it. I feel like we don't give him respect. I end up disrespecting him. That's what I put in my notes. But, it's true. He's a fat flyweight. It definitely changed our perception of him, but he's still a very good fighter. Now, the real con of it all, not the steroid rule that I have, he's always going to be second fiddle to John Jones, that one step short. And I don't really blame him for it. I think John was good. And he was out juice on his mind as well, but he was good. He still has to have the skill. My coach always makes the argument, we get in little debates about it. You still have to have the skills in order to be the guy. You can't just abuse anabolic steroids, except John Jones did abuse anabolic steroids, and there's notable declines when he's not. John Jones only ran free, bro. Shut up. Anyways, also, the second DC fight was DC with nagging backhanders from his Olympic career. He was just cooked. His all-time wins are Dan Henderson, Rumble twice. Rumble's a monster. Could have been on this list too. Gustafsson, Anderson Silva, I guess counts, but he's an 85er. And you also got the heavyweight wins in that regard. Stipe, Big Nog, who's also 205 at one point, so you could actually count it. Frank Mir and then Josh Barnett. So pretty solid, right? Pretty solid. Actually, no, Big Nog at 205 actually. Not come to think of it. Yeah, pretty solid. Pretty solid guy. Pretty solid. I think Stipe. I think DC is really two. Down to be one, but I have the steroid rule, so DC goes to one. That's how it goes. I think as everyone on the list should be with the steroid rule. Now, my friend at lunch pointed out a phenomenal point. What if somehow John Jones vacates, goes 205, Alex Pereira knocks out John Jones? Alex Pereira automatically, in my opinion, goes to number one. Automatically. Just automatically. As much as I hate John, automatically goes to number one just because of how big of a win that is on paper, and to what it means to the sport to finally just end John Jones's fraudulent legacy, which he's going to take him down and probably choke him out, or Alex Pereira by guillotine, but hot take. Anyways, so first of all, I gotta say something before we go. Call me crazy, but Tito Ortiz has crazy aura. I know it's absurd because he's the face of CTE being funny, but like some of his studies, he also has a photo where it's not a triple champ photo, but he basically has like the triple champ UFC 5 looking photo. It is, and it's from a down, it's shot from a down angle. So much aura, like the aura is overwhelming. Tito's aura was overwhelming, bro. It makes sense. It makes sense why he pulled. It makes sense because he's a little bit of a goober. He's a little bit of a goober. CTE being funny, but he had so much aura. I think the, he was nerfed with the inability to speak English so we could balance out the aura scales. That's my crazy conspiracy for the day. Anyways, thanks for watching and God bless.